As the winter transfer window slammed shut, FC Barcelona emerged relatively quiet, with the club choosing to focus on internal matters rather than bringing in new faces or making major departures. Unlike many of Europe's top clubs, who scrambled to secure last-minute signings or offload fringe players, Barcelona took a much more measured approach to the transfer market. Their primary focus was on securing the future of some key players and ensuring the stability of the squad as they push for success in both domestic and European competitions. In a winter window that often sees clubs looking to reinforce their squads, Barcelona's strategy stood out as they instead prioritized important player renewals and the registration of Dani Olmo and Pau Victor, while keeping a tight grip on their current roster. Barcelona's transfer window wasn't marked by big-name arrivals or departures. Instead, the club focused its energy on securing the futures of some of its brightest talents. Key players such as Ronald Araujo, Gavi, and Pedri were all handed contract renewals, ensuring that the next generation of Barcelona stars would remain at the club for years to come. These renewals are seen as a statement of intent, not just for the remainder of this season but for the long-term future of the club. Araujo's commitment to Barcelona is especially significant as the young Uruguayan centre-back has become one of the pillars of the team's defense since his arrival. His leadership and solid performances have been integral to Barcelona's defensive stability this season, and his renewal was a vital step for the club to avoid losing one of its most promising young talents to potential suitors. Pedri, another standout performer for Barcelona, is quickly becoming one of the best midfielders in the world. His technical ability, vision, and knack for influencing the game have made him a key figure in Xavi's midfield. Gavi, the tenacious Spanish international, has similarly been a revelation, and keeping these two midfield dynamos at the club was essential for Barcelona's plans going forward. By securing the future of these players, Barcelona showed a commitment to a long-term project under manager Xavi Hernandez. Instead of overhauling the squad with risky signings, the focus was on building a team around the emerging core of Araujo, Pedri, Gavi, and other talented players. It's clear that the Catalan club is planning for sustainability rather than short-term fixes. While the squad remained largely intact, the winter window was also marked by speculation over potential departures. Various players who have struggled to find regular minutes under Xavi were linked with moves away from the club. However, as the final hours of the transfer window ticked down, there were no significant exits from the squad, and Barcelona's lineup remained largely unchanged. One of the players who had been linked with a potential departure was young midfielder Pablo Torre. The 21-year-old Spaniard, who joined Barcelona last season from Racing Santander, found himself on the fringes of the squad this season, struggling to break into the starting 11. With limited playing time, there was growing speculation that Torre could be loaned out, or even sold to gain more first-team experience. The most notable development regarding Torre came on the last day of the transfer window, when Portuguese giants FC Porto reportedly made a move for the talented midfielder. With Porto having recently parted ways with Nico Gonzalez, they were on the lookout for a replacement, and Torre was identified as a potential candidate to fill the void left by the former La Masia product. As the deadline loomed, reports suggested that Porto had made an €8 million offer for Torre, hoping to secure his services before the window closed. This was a potential move that could have seen the young Spanish midfielder leave Barcelona in search of more playing time and further development. However, a report from Mundo Deportivo has provided new insights into the situation, revealing that the transfer talks surrounding Torre never advanced as initially reported. Contrary to earlier suggestions that Barcelona rejected a formal offer, the situation never progressed beyond Porto's initial interest in the player. In fact, Porto did not submit any formal offer for Torre and instead sought other alternatives to strengthen their squad. According to Mundo Deportivo, Barcelona was not inclined to part ways with Torre, either through a loan move nor a permanent transfer. The club had no intention of letting go of the young midfielder, especially at such a crucial stage of the season. Barcelona believed that Torre could still play an important role within the squad, and with several competitions still to play, they were keen to keep him around for the rest of the campaign. Barcelona's decision to reject Porto's interest in Pablo Torre can be understood from several key perspectives. First and foremost, Barcelona's technical staff, led by Xavi Hernandez, did not view the move as a good fit for the player or the club. Porto's new manager, Martin Anselmi, was reportedly not familiar with Torre, and the club did not push for the transfer. Without the strong backing of the coach, Barcelona was unwilling to entertain the idea of a loan move, particularly when there were no guarantees that Torre would receive significant playing time at Porto. From a financial perspective, Barcelona also felt that letting Torre go would not be beneficial in the long run. The player, who had shown promise during his time at Racing Santander, was seen as a valuable asset, and Barcelona did not want to risk devaluing him by sending him on loan to a club where he might not feature regularly. Barcelona's youth academy, La Masia, has produced some of the best talents in the world, and Torre was considered a player with great potential. The club did not want to risk stunting his growth by sending him to a club where he would struggle for minutes, especially when there was no guarantee that he would develop as expected. It is clear that Barcelona views Pablo Torre as part of their long-term project. Despite his lack of minutes this season, the club's management believes that Torre has the potential to contribute to the team in the future. Xavi has shown a willingness to rotate his squad and give opportunities to young players, and Torre will have to bide his time and prove that he deserves a regular spot in the starting lineup. The fact that manager Hansi Flick was also keen to keep Torre suggests that there is belief in the young midfielder's abilities. Flick, who has been working closely with Barcelona's technical staff, understands the importance of nurturing young talent and integrating them into the squad when the time is right. Torre's work ethic and technical qualities have been praised by those within the club, and it is likely that he will continue to train hard and prepare for future opportunities. Ultimately, the decision to keep Torre at Barcelona is a sign of confidence in the young midfielder. While the transfer window may not have seen any major moves for Barcelona, the decision to retain Torre highlights the club's commitment to developing its young players and giving them the platform to succeed at the highest level. The future looks bright for Torre, and with continued development, he could become a key figure in Barcelona's midfield for years to come. The winter transfer window may have been quiet for Barcelona, but it was a window that reinforced the club's focus on stability and long-term planning. While some players, like Pablo Torre, were linked with departures, the club ultimately chose to keep its young talents and renew contracts for key players. Barcelona's future looks promising, and with a strong core of players ready to take the club forward, the upcoming months could prove pivotal in their quest for glory in domestic and international competitions. Barcelona's measured approach to the winter transfer window sends a message. The club is not only looking to rebuild for the present, but also planning for a successful future. It remains to be seen how the season will unfold, but one thing is clear: FC Barcelona is prepared to nurture its young talents and make intelligent decisions that will set the stage for future success.